So today we're talking about the circle of death. And you know what I mean, that annoying circle you get on your dashboards that really slow down the whole process. They make the experience for your user really terrible, and they may affect your adoption. If it's not fast, your users aren't going to use it, right? I mean, Google's super fast. You want your dashboard to be super, super fast. Well, most people throw a ton of money at it, but here at the labs at PNC with our rocket scientist, Peter Tapoye, we spent $30 on, yes, a startup
So Peter,
project.
tell us more about how you cure the circle of death.
Yes. The circle of death is waiting for the Tableau dashboard to return. And this is the sign that you see most of the time that we want an end to it. And the way we created our little lab is that we got the most inexpensive, low-end commodity hardware that you can go out and purchase, install a database, and randomize data, 2.7 million, nearly 3 million records on it, and try to connect Tableau to it, pull the records, and see how it performs.
Wait a minute, Peter. Did you just say 2.7 million random records on a $30 piece of hardware?
Yes. This is called the Raspberry Pi. It is a 1 gig RAM memory. I believe it's a 2.2 gig processor, quad processors, ARM processors on it. It is a tiny little computer that actually can produce extremely fast data return. On this Raspberry Pi, for example, I have two database technologies. One is a MySQL database on it, and then I also have SQLite database on it. Out of the 2.7 million records, when I, for example, pull 3 or 4 months worth of data, counting them, summing them, grouping them, and ordering them, I return the data in 1 second.
Wait, now, how long would that take, though, on certainly like on a SQL Server database, that's like got to be half as, well, how long does it take on a SQL Server database?
Yes, our SQL Server database at best right now returns that data in about 3 to 5 seconds. On a good day, most of the time it's a little bit over 10 seconds.
Wait a minute. A fully supported SQL Server database, 3 to 5 seconds,
Yes.
a $30 Raspberry Pi that you engineered in the lab, how long?
1 second.
Wow.
Yes. Well, there are multiple database technologies out there. That obviously, this is not a production hardware. This is really a pilot study that we came up with. And since we got such encouraging performance out of this, we took it to the next step and was thinking about it. Could we really have production volume, or could we take this any further and have better performance reliance and whatnot on our database?
Right. The lab's not really about Tableau dashboards connected to your Pocket database, but it's about pushing the technology to the limits to learn things.
It is actually pushing really the human factor and talent that we have, and pretty much any company has. It's just a matter of looking deep into it, like what these people are capable of doing, and come up with a solution that we already have in-house, and that is perfectly capable, and this is available pretty much anywhere. It's just a matter of finding it. And since we found it in this small hardware, we were thinking about it, could we take it one step further? And the answer is yes. And that's when I came up with this 4-stack Raspberry Pi clustered database. These are 4 Raspberry Pis connected together, and since they have built-in wireless and Bluetooth connections, they wirelessly connect to each other. Obviously, it's not hooked up right now, but installing, for example, Crate database, which Crate is a distributed query database. The data is distributed to 4 different ways. The queries are spread out to 4 different ways, trying to pull the information back. We had tremendous success with a small technology like this and distributed database, proving that indeed with current technology even current talent, we can perform very, very well and kill the circle of death, return your data, basically being the resurrector of your dashboard, that you don't have to wait for the dashboard to return. You don't have to have your people sitting there and counting the seconds when they're gonna actually get their report and be able to self-serve and come up with the answers that they are looking for.
So, Peter, there's a lot more details in the link below. Obviously, we've done some write-up and are available to talk to people at the conference if they so see you there. But mostly this is still about what you learned, because you've put a lot of different databases on there, a lot of configurations, and you've come up with, there's a lot of scribble on there on the board, but we've come up with in here just different ways to think about the data itself. It's not just the hardware that's in your hand, but it's the actual data structures, how we think we do things differently, and how those databases interact. And you need a lab to experiment throughout the whole process with Tableau, how it gets and acquires its data all the way through. You've isolated one part of the problem, which is the hardware, and you've significantly enhanced it with a lot of these techniques in the lab.
Yes, I agree. It really is just the one aspect of the data, the hardware, the technology, the software, but let's not forget the human factors. I am lucky because I have a good manager who actually let me come up with these tests and work on these technologies, these what-if scenarios, and I'm really lucky from that perspective. And I think that any company can do it. It's a matter of being open-minded and being able to move forward with not just technology, but also from management perspective to the next level. And the next level, from technological point of view, is a cluster, data visualization, but also at the same time, freedom of expression and freedom of creativity.
It's critical in the time that we explore new things and new ways to get things done and not just stuck in the same old patterns. And that's the visualization revolution that we're in right now. The visualization. Absolutely. All right, Peter. Thank you.
Thank you.